Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 5 Drinks or Midnight, Quarantine Edition. Today we're talking to Emily Harrison and MEGHAN IRELAND from WhistlePig. But before we do, like and subscribe. It'll really help us out. Thanks. Megan and Emily, thank you so much for joining us. 5 Drinks or Midnight, 5 drinks, 5 questions, whatever comes first. Huge fan. I'm really looking forward to this. Thank you so much for joining us. How you guys doing today?
Great. Thank you for having us.
Excellent. Well, my pleasure. I'm a big WhistlePig fan, so this is going to be awesome. What's our first drink?
So let's start with our farm stock 3.
Excellent. Right here. Boom. Tell us about Farm Stock 3.
For people who don't know, so Farm Stock 3 is the first bottle we've released that is the majority of our own distillation here from the farm. So we're only a 10-year-old company, so a lot of what we do right now is sourced. So Farm Stock kind of gave us a really cool opportunity to show off our own distillate from here. So this is stuff that we've personally, it's our rye, it's our water, we put it in our wood, and it's a very Vermont product. And then this Farm Stock 3 was the first time that it was kind of an old enough whiskey to make it the majority of a blend. So it's kind of our cool little Farm Stock 3.
Yeah, it tastes a little greener, but it's worth it because it's our stuff.
All right. Well, cheers.
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 All right. So question 1, again, just kind of comes down to a little bit of an origin story, but how'd you guys get into the whiskey business?
We both actually have a background in chemical engineering, so majored in the same thing in college. And then I personally kind of got introduced to this world and got the idea actually from Whiskey Advocate. There was an article after my freshman year in college that was about a woman master distiller with a degree in chemical engineering, and kind of just got hyper focused on that was what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go. So I did about a year and a half in hard cider before I jumped over to the whiskey side.
I found that the master distillers and head distillers that I've been interviewing, they all went to for school for this. And for me, I find it, I was always under the impression that you were an intern somewhere and you studied under a master distiller and he taught you the tricks of the trade and then off you went. But no, people have actually damn, I went to art school and I should have went to, again, not that smart for chemical engineering, but I would have really liked to have known that younger Tim would have loved knowing that there was some place you could go learn how to make whiskey. So
yeah, no, yeah. I had no idea when I got into it. I was just a total chemistry nerd. And then I read that article and I was like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do.
I definitely knew. I grew up in Kentucky and went to school at University of Louisville. So I went to school for this. My favorite part of going to school at U of L, we had a glass distillation column with a glass pot still next to it in our lab. So we got to watch, we got to do experiments on it where we distilled things and watched it go up each plate and watched it fall back down with the reflux. And I mean, absolutely in love with it. Knew I wanted to get into bourbon or whiskey or whatever as soon as I graduated.
How do you guys feel about being a Vermont whiskey, putting that on the market? As far as there's there's Texan whiskey, there's Midwest whiskey, there's all these new kind of categories of whiskey that are kind of coming out. And you guys were, I think, even one of the original kind of pioneers of everybody went crazy of, wait, there's whiskey coming out of Vermont. That's a little crazy, but again, it's damn good. So
I think it was kind of crazy, for both of us too. When we came out here on our interviews, I mean, me personally, I was like, we're down on a dirt road in the middle of Vermont on this farm. I was like, where is this address on the GPS taking me? I really hope I end up where I'm supposed to.
Yeah, I definitely thought I was in the wrong place coming out here. You drive up and it still looks like a farm. That's one of the funny things about being in Vermont in general, is that everyone likes to make everything stay looking like a barn. So like I literally distill in a barn where the hay elevator and the roof that you see behind us are like original to the barn, to like the 1800s barn. So it's an interesting experience going from like, it came from Wild Turkey, was my first job I had. So that's like a highly automated facility, brand new equipment, super high tech, which is awesome, to coming here on a completely opposite scale, where everything is like, I'm turning valves by hand, I'm tasting things in order to switch from heads to hearts to tails. Like I'm physically touching all the equipment like old moonshiners would.
That's awesome.
And distilling in the same barn they probably did. So
Well, and then too, I mean, do you like that better than like at Wild Turkey where everything was kind of automated, or do you feel that like, are you more like, I love this because it's so much more hands-on and I get to tweak everything and like be like super sciencey about it, or is it more like I like watching the gauges go kind of thing?
it's a give and take. At Wild Turkey, I mean, you had a lot more control over everything in terms of like, you could turn a valve like 1 degree and see like the effect of that. Where here it's like, I think I'm turning it like a quarter-ish. Like it's just by hand. I hope this valve isn't rusted through at the bottom. But yeah, I mean, both are super cool. Wild Turkey could never go small scale like this, except for like a test lab, just because they're producing so much more. Where here we know our product, we know we're niche, we know like, yeah, we know we're a craft distillery. So that's part of the fun part, is that we're craft. We keep with the art form of it more than the really technical control of it. And yeah, it's mostly based on taste and our distiller's discretion. So I always hope that they're like, you know, able to taste things and not just like, you know, taking shots or anything. So it's great. Yeah.
Again, I think you guys have the best job in the world. So cheers to you, because it's
Thanks. freaking
amazing. So I just, the more and more I do this, the more and more I was like, man, I picked the wrong profession. So like I think again, I'd be a terrible barman and I'd probably be a terrible distiller. So like, because I just like to drink it so much. So like,
safer this way.
yeah, I'll interview and drink, and then you guys can keep making it. So. Well, excellent. Well, that's question 1. Super easy. Not even midnight. We're flying through. So
we're going through. You got that one.
Excellent. Well, should we move on to question 2, or?
Sure. Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. What are we drinking next?
Let's go tenure. Let's move up the
line. Beautiful.
Not trying to rush either. It's just I know that you guys have a photo shoot to get to. So
yeah, really that holiday card.
Yeah. All right. So question 2. Can you tell us about the tenure?
Of course. So our tenure is our flagship. It is kind of our definition of big, bold, spicy rye. It's smooth, but it's still got those strong rye spices in it, and kind of just our classic go-to.
Excellent. It is. Yeah, this is the bottle that got me hooked, and it's never left my shelf since. So there's always a good at least full bottle somewhere, and
somewhere in the
somewhere in the collection. But all right, well, cheers.
Cheers.
And then our question 2. So, what drew you guys to WhistlePig, and how has it helped you hone your craft?
So for me personally, what really drew me here was part of the size and our focus on innovation. So like, I came in, and within the first 2 weeks, I was having meetings with the CEO, and you're able to have like a voice here and make a difference. And then also, I think because we're craft and because of the way this company's kind of ran, we're always pushed to be able to innovate and like allowed to kind of do all this crazy stuff. So like, I mean, most of the time I can put whiskey in any barrel I want. I'm like, okay, I want to try this. And they're like, all right, go for it. Like, I'm allowed to mess around with finishing. And so that was a big part of it for me, was kind of the innovation side.
Excellent. And again, not looking for any scoops or anything, but is there something that you're like looking really forward to in like experimenting with or playing with in like near future? Or
I can talk about some of the cool ones I've done in the past.
Sure. Well, again, I'm not, yes, not looking for like a scoop or like we're going to be releasing this. That's not what it was more of like, I'd really like to play with, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, no, single finish that we've done that turned out really well. And then our sherries, we have a couple sherry finishes that have finished beautifully. So we have like a program that basically, it's called our single finish program. And it's basically like me experimenting, and then we sell those barrels later after we figure out like,
Yeah.
it's like me just having fun, and then we have to sell the whiskey. So
Excellent. Has there ever been anything that has gone terribly wrong?
Yeah, so partially your own fault. We did a muscat finish one time, and it kind of got buried in the barrel bar.
Okay.
And like, it's now been finishing for close to 3 years, and I would dub it basically undrinkable. So it wasn't so much the barrel's fault to that specific finish, but it was just one of those things that it was like in the back corner of the barn, and then all of a sudden we were like, oh, what? Oh,
What is that?
Ooh, that one's overfinished.
Excellent. Well then, Emily, what about you?
I always say they tricked me into moving here because it was fall whenever I came for my interview. But really my answer is pretty similar to Megan's. I came in and I saw they had one person on the distillery team, just one person running the still. And Megan was acting as quality assurance as well as the distillery manager at that point while they were hiring for the distillery lead. And then, I like looked around the place. I was like, these stills are like, this still is so adorable and cute. It's such like a small scale size that it's just absolutely precious to me. And then no one knows what they're doing. And I was very happy about that because it meant that I could do anything I wanted.
Excellent.
So yeah, it was just the innovation. It was a lot of fun. It's still, I emailed the CEO and our marketing lead this morning. I was like, hey, our malt house has this new program they're doing with different smoke finishes. Can I just buy some? Like, can I just buy a few, see what happens? And they're like, yeah, absolutely, do it. See if you can throw our own wood in the mix, you know? Like, it's stuff like that where it's like, or my lead distiller wanted to catch wild yeast one time. So yeah, just went out and caught wild yeast, made a couple mashes out of it. Like, we'll see how they go, where they go in 5 years. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's just, you know, innovate, see what works, see what doesn't work, and really go for it.
That's amazing. That's so cool. Like, again, I'm gonna keep beating this drum, but you guys have the best fucking job in the world. Like, literally. They say that distillers name the stills. Do you have a name for your still?
Yeah, we have Mortimer and Mauve. Mortimer we call Morty. Mauve is our other one. We base them both off of our founding pigs.
Yep.
So our founding pigs are Mortimer and Mauve, and our stills are Mortimer and Mauve. Mauve was installed in 2019, so that was a lot of fun because I was here whenever they installed it.
We got to be a part of it. We're like, there's like photos of us like backing the still into the right spot and turning the screws.
And we accidentally had copper polish on our hand at the time because we were polishing our other still before that one came in. So now our handprints are forever burned on the new still.
That's amazing. You left your mark.
Forever, my handprint, or both of our handprints will be
on that still. Yeah.
That is so awesome. You are now forever. No matter what happens, you are forever on the whistle.
The WhistlePig
still.
Yep. It's really cool because Dave's whenever they installed the first one, Dave Pickerel wrote WP on Mortimer. I'm pretty sure in the same way with some sort of copper polish that's never come off. So it's a lot of fun that we accidentally mimicked him and put our handprints on it.
Amazing. That's so cool. That's how you do it. Yeah. And again, the farm just sounds absolutely amazing. I was going to come up for a visit because again, it was come throw axes and drink whiskey. And I was like, well, that sounds terrible. Like it's, and I had a really good friend, Richie Baccato, came out and he cut ice from you guys right from the lake. So it was,
Yep.
like
So cool.
Richie is a god in my eyes. So like it just literally like his ice. I want to be Richie when I grow up. So yeah, like that. But yeah, he came out and cut ice for you guys, and it just throw axes, drink whiskey, catch some wild geese, play with pigs. It just sounds just
hang out on the farm for a weekend.
yeah.
When we first put the axe throwing in, we all went up for all the operations team went up and threw a couple. I was so bad at it, they actually circulated a video throughout the entire company of me trying to throw an axe. So.
I still watch it if I'm in a bad mood. It's just gold.
Very bad.
Move on to question 3. We're flying through.
Yeah,
Let's go with 15 year.
All right. Should have been better prepared and had it.
I find a pewter cork on the 15 year makes a very satisfying pop.
It does.
Right?
It so does.
It feels high class, you know?
that and two, just I mean, the weight of the bottle, that little pewter that it just adds to it. Like again, I absolutely love the shape of the bottles.
Yes.
They remind me of like
I like our bottles a lot, and they're so like easily identifiable.
Yeah.
It's clearly a WhistlePig product, you know. So I think that's kind of cool.
And two, going from like the Boss Hog to the 18, even to the piggyback, there's still that shape of that bottle. Like you could see it in, so it's still a recognizable WhistlePig product. So like it just the bottle is so cool.
Yeah, the 15-year-old is our estate oak barrels. So they're finished in Vermont oak. It's a bit of a smokier finish, still that big, bold rye spice, but it's got more of a smoky finish to it, or a smoky like smell to it and smoky finish. Drinks a little more like Scotch, in my opinion. This is the one where if someone's a Scotch drinker, I normally point them to our 15-year as an introduction to rye.
Okay.
Yes,
I can see that.
Using the Vermont oak, because our growing seasons are so short, the wood itself, the rings in the wood are much tighter together, which changes the components and how the whiskey moves in and out of the wood and gives it a bit of a different flavor than if we had just put it in an American oak barrel. So.
Yeah, that's why we're able to actually finish it in the Vermont oak rather than aging it in the Vermont oak entirely, because those rings are so tight that we can just finish it in it, which is really cool because it absorbs the flavor that quickly.
Oh, wow. Excellent. Well, it's, again, gorgeous. So cheers to that. Question 3, you guys worked so closely together. Like, again, the start to the finish, you are, like we said, the boss of WhistlePig. What's a day in the life for you guys? Like, I mean, like, what's it like on the farm?
It changes every day, which is part of what we love. But it can be anywhere from planning for like next year and what blends we're going to do throughout the whole year, to working on some of those experimental single finishes.
Yeah. For me, my day can range. So the one consistent part is at least the stills are running, and normally I'm making a mash that day. But other than that, I mean, I'm planning for next year, looking at our inventory, seeing what I need to produce in order to meet goals for 5-10 years down the line, and then I'm contacting our maltster or like grain resources. I am in charge of the farming, so we grow all of our own rye. So if it's planting season, I'm normally talking to our farmer every day, if it's harvesting, same thing. And on Fridays, I normally take at least some time to drive around the farm and make sure that our crops are looking okay.
We do our Friday adventure around the farm.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but it's a large variety, but I mean, it's a lot of planning as well as a lot of like on the spot innovation type stuff, where
I mean,
an idea comes along and you just act on it.
Yeah, there are some days I've come into work and like the CEO's been like, okay, I have this idea. Can you make this happen? Like, I want to taste it this afternoon. I'm like, okay, yep.
Sure. Done.
Got it, yep. Okay.
That's very real. I spent one day, we green malted here. So that's when it's not a technique a lot of people do. It's, you spread out grain, you spray water on it, you start it growing like you would in malting. And then instead of throwing it in a kiln, you grind it up then and there. So I spent one day running over green malts. I green malted everything the previous days, and then we didn't know how to grind it, so we ran it over with a forklift for about 4 hours.
Just driving back and forth.
Yeah. And then the CEO has a great picture. He's in the distillery, and he has a great picture of me shoveling this gross smelling grain from a bag into the mash tun because it also wouldn't go through the auger, just as it wouldn't go through our mill. So I spent like 8 hours one day just running over grain with a forklift just for an experimental mash.
That's amazing. That's so awesome. And again, great in that's farm ingenuity, because it's just don't have anything to crush it, so let's use the forklift. Perfect.
It wasn't going to run through our normal mill, so we had to come up with something else.
Yeah, we make it happen here.
That's awesome. Going back to the Vermont wood and stuff, I spoke with Aaron from Smoke Wagon, and he talked a lot about, also a former Dave helper as well, that Dave consulted with. But he talked a lot about environment and why he thinks Smoke Wagon, like the Vegas air, is really kind of what helped Smoke Wagon become what it is. Do you think that that's the same in Vermont, where because you talked about your seasons being so kind of short because of where you're located? Do you think the same thing for WhistlePig?
Yeah, our seasons certainly have a big effect on not only our grain, because we grow our grain here, but also the aging of our whiskey, because down in Kentucky or in warmer climates, you have more time where the product is soaking in and out of the wood, where up in Vermont, we're winter like 9 months out of the year. At least that's what it feels like to me. But so you only get that really short period of activity in the wood, and then it sits. So that's, we have these products that are aged 10, 15, 18 years, but they've only, they only have such a short period of time to soak in and out of the wood in comparison to a warmer climate.
Awesome.
It makes a big difference for us on the finishing side.
Yeah, it's a lot more mellow, and at least in my opinion.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Because I think too, like some of your proof is around the same as a Smoke Wagon, but you don't quite have that hot of a burn as other of those high proof ryes. So like that's and yeah, like this is always WhistlePig is, I think, one of the great things about WhistlePig is it's always been just a really great sipper for me. So it's not like something that you sit down and you're like, oh, you get that, that burn face. This is just always just been a really great sipper. So it just, I'm very, again, big fanboy. So it's just
yeah, definitely.
Well, should we move on to question 4?
Sure. 18 year.
Mm-hmm. That bottle, the packaging, the cork, the glass stopper. This has such a nice Oh,
Yeah.
Satisfying sound to it.
yeah, that's just always. All right.
So,
And as you can see, I like the 18. So it's
That's about what my bottle at home looks like.
yeah. All right. Can you tell us a little bit about the 18?
yeah, so our 18 year is actually double malted. So for us, that means that we use 2 different malted grains in it. So it's made from malted rye and malted barley, and then aged for 18 years. I think it's an incredibly smooth drink for the proof that it is, and just has some really nice kind of vanilla and softer flavors to it. So
it is so nice. It is literally, yes. Cheers to you, because it is
yep.
so good. It is so, yeah, like you said, it's so soft, it's smooth, it's yummy all the way down. Like it is gorgeous. It's just.
Yeah, we thought when this juice first came in, we thought a lot about it and what we wanted to do with it. And we do a lot of finishing. This guy came in and we all kind of tasted it. And we're like, we're good.
Yeah, that was.
We all love it. We're not gonna.
Yeah,
we're gonna let that one shine through.
Yeah, it ain't broke. Don't try to fix it. It's perfect. Bottle it, send it. Good.
Like it. We all loved it the way it was, so we were super excited about it.
Excellent. Well, going on to question 4 then, because this is my favorite WhistlePig. What's your favorite WhistlePig?
Right now, because that changes for me. Right now, it's the BOSS HOG VII.
Okay.
Really excited for you to get to try it in a second here.
I would absolutely agree with Megan. I am very excited about the BOSS HOG VII. It's Christmas in a bottle. It's everything I want in the world. It's my Thanksgiving drink. It's my Christmas drink. It's my everything drink. But like in terms of before that, the 12-year, in terms of our core SKUs, it's the 12-year, just because it's sweeter. And then in terms of mixing, like making a cocktail, I normally reach for the piggyback for that. I go through piggyback. Like that's the only one that's the bottle I like turn over. Like I'll get a new bottle of piggyback more frequently than I will another drink, just because that's going into cocktails. So.
Okay. Do you have a favorite cocktail then?
This is a very Vermont answer. So I'll make a maple old fashioned with it. So I'll use our maple syrup as well, make a maple old fashioned out of it. Or if I'm getting creative, Run Amok, who we partner with for our cocktails on the go, they make a lot of a lot of different flavored maple syrups. So if I'm feeling really, creative that day, I'll throw in a different flavor of maple syrup. But otherwise, it's just our stuff and piggyback.
Excellent. So basically, an old fashioned is the way to go.
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. Again, someone after my own heart. You can't go wrong with an old fashioned. So it's 3 ingredients. Don't fuck it up. It's just
Exactly.
Yeah. Part of the reason I love that so much is because it's a little easier to make. I mean, I love the taste of it too, but a whiskey sour is probably one of my favorite cocktails, but it takes a little more time with the egg whites and the...
Yeah.
That's it. Because then I was going to ask you, are you an egg white person or are you a powdered person? Or
Yeah, I'll do the egg whites, but then it's a little more of activity. Makes my cake a bit more messy.
Excellent. What's your favorite thing about the farm, I guess? You talk about being so secluded and it's just, it's a farm first kind of thing, but like, what is like your favorite thing about the farm?
I would actually say like the opposite part of the seclusion, I guess. Before COVID, we had people coming up here who were barrel buyers and would hang out, and we have a farmhouse. So being able to hang out with like our consumers and our barrel buyers and getting to know them, and like I'll be able to have a dinner with them and just talk and like get their perspective on things. That's probably one of my favorite parts. Hopefully we'll be able to get back to that soon. But having those visitors on the farm and kind of getting to show off what we do and talk to people and our different customers is one of my favorite things here, is that I'm able to have that relationship with them.
Excellent.
I love the people working on the farm, but meeting our customers is always really cool because they come from such different walks of life. I feel like you'll get such a wide range of people who all love WhistlePig that it's like you can't typecast our consumer as much as you would normally think that like marketing categories or types of things, like you can't really typecast them because it's just a weird and wide array of people that come to the farm and you get to meet them and hang out. So that's really cool. My current favorite thing is the pigs. They're so much fun.
Our little piggies.
Our little pigs. I didn't think I'd ever form an emotional attachment to pigs, but here I am. So.
It's happened.
Well, and again, the thing that I've been told about is, again, they grow up to be nice and big like MJ. So like they don't stay that cute little size anymore.
No.
Like having
for a month and you can already tell, you can already see the change. So
yeah, Cece can no longer sit in her food bowl while she's eating food. So, they grow up so fast.
Well, should we move on to the thing that I've been waiting for all
the one and only.
The one and only. So taller too. Like that's the
yeah.
Yep. So this is the first year we've put Boss Hog in a bit different of a bottle. It's got that nice big base on it. And then the number 7 in Roman numerals is down at the bottom of that base too. So
just embossed.
Make it pop on the shelf a little more.
Such a good. Oh, that smells good.
Yep.
It's so good.
Yep.
Oh, that smells real good.
I needed a candle for him and also in a whipped cream at least.
Oh,
those are the 2 things we want.
Yeah, like that whipped cream. That's that. So you get terrible bar person, way over heavy hand.
So this year was a lot of fun for us, and one of the first ones that me and Emily have both been pretty involved in. It's a 17-year-old whiskey, and we also double finished it for the first time ever.
So first we finished it in Spanish oak, which I got a source. Spanish oak is notorious for being leaky and for being very porous. So talking to Cooper into making it for us was a lot of fun. It took a little bit of time, but he finally did it and told me that he really hoped I wasn't putting expensive whiskey in it. So naturally we put our most expensive whiskey in it. And that Spanish oak really just, from our original bond to the Spanish oak, it really just cleaned it up a lot and toned it down, made it a lot more mellow. And then we put it in Amberuana.
Yeah, so then we did a second finish, and it's only 3 days, but it's what's giving you those baking spice smells, that kind of like cinnamon-y, and so that's only 3 days in the barrel, and it's a it's a teakwood, South American teakwood, and those flavors just come through on that wood very aggressively, and it gives you those vanilla, caramels, and those baking spices that kind of, you really get hit on the nose with those when you're...
Yeah, for context, we finished the Spanish oak for 3 weeks and the South American teakwood for only 3 days. And that's the difference in flavor, is that 3 days.
It was.
This is fucking amazing. So I just have to say, holy cow. You're right. It's Christmas. It's everything that you want. Like, it's just, wow. It is just fucking amazing.
It gets so good on the nose that you forget to drink it.
Sometimes, we'll both just catch ourselves just like smelling it in the lab, just like.
No, but like that whole, the spice at the end is just, I feel like I just ate like grandma's like Christmas cake. Like it's just it's just so good.
And then as it opens up, you get more like tropical notes too, where it's like a little bit of coconut and like it's so good. That's why it's my current favorite.
I can see that.
You get a work on it, but then it's just like this beautiful, amazing whiskey that is everything we want in a Boss Hog in terms of being the best quality we can get.
Wow. I mean, again, congratulations. This is just fucking amazing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep swearing, but it's just like,
No,
wow.
no, it's appropriate. Yep.
It's just so, like, it is like the next level. It is just, I mean,
Boss Hog.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys deserve everything that comes, like, good things are coming for this. Like, this, I mean, everybody needs to know about this. This is just, wow. That, I can't even, it just keeps building, and it just, I'm just speechless. Like, it just.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, we were super excited, and throughout the time that we're testing and trialing it, and we were very excited for this year's for sure.
Yeah, it was one of the ones where, so for the South American teakwood finish, we like tasted it daily, and for like, oh, sorry,
The bar moved on.
The bar moved a bit. We were tasting it daily for like a few weeks, and every day it was just like, where's the sweet spot? Where's the sweet spot? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
like by day 14, it's completely overpowered in cinnamon, and you're almost getting none of the rye flavors anymore, which isn't staying true to who we are and what we want.
Sure.
So that 3-day kind of allowed our rye to still shine through, but give you those baking spices and that flavor.
You're absolutely right. It's like, this is just it's Thanksgiving. It's fall. Like, this is just fall in a glass. Like, it's absolutely everything that you like. It's a really crappy rainy day in Brooklyn, and like, this just made everything so much better. So like,
yeah, yeah, it feels like fall. Like, it feels like a celebration.
like, we're supposed to get snow tomorrow, and this is just perfect. Like this, I'm ready now.
Yeah.
I got my hat. I got my number 7, so I'm ready to. Like, thank you. That is just that. I can't believe that. That is okay. Kept you long enough. Our last and final question is a flip of the coin question. You have your Whiskey Wednesday coin. Excellent. You can spin it, you can flip it, you can do whatever you want. Be careful, they're heavy, they're a weapon, so you can throw them at people if you ever need it.
Glasses. Move those out of the way.
Excellent. I know the first rule is that we can't talk about the League of the Flying Pigs, but is there any way you could get me into the League of Flying Pigs?
Both of ours. Say fuck yeah. So
Yes!
we were never in it. We were never in it. So can you get us into it?
I just heard that there's the secret League of the Flying Pigs, and I don't even know what it is. I just want to be part of it. So
we don't know either. So if you could get us into it, because clearly, fuck yeah, we can get you into it.
All right, well.
Love it.
I will do my best. Because I did not know what it is or what. I just know I want to be a part of it. So
I've seen downstairs we have a thing that says League of the Flying Pig was formed. I have no clue what that means.
Yeah.
So apparently it is a hard rule where we don't talk about it.
We're waiting for the invite too.
Yeah, we're definitely waiting for it.
Well, Emily and Megan, I wanted to thank you so much for your time. It was a real great pleasure talking and drinking with you. I had the best time. Thank you so much. I loved walking through WhistlePig with you guys. Please stay safe.
Thank you for having me. This was great.
Enjoy the pigs.
Yes, we will. We'll send you photos.